During a bill signing ceremony last week, President Trump said that former President Joe Biden was much better at sleeping than him. I don't know, man. You fell asleep at your own trial. I think the only way you could top that is on the cyclone at Coney Island. Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said over the weekend that former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is running for mayor as a stepping stone to run for president, before remembering that it absolutely isn't one. When asked yesterday if Russia should be invited again to the G7 summit after being expelled in 2014, President Trump said no because, quote, too much water's gone over the dam. I'm sorry, is that even a phrase or just another thing you think you heard somewhere? Well, you know what they say, even a broken clock can be barking up the wrong tree. And what's this new thing with Trump just making up popular expressions? I guarantee you this, if Trump says, you know what they say, then they don't say that. Private club co-founded by Donald Trump Jr. called the executive branch opened last week in Washington, D.C., and Eric announced that he found a really cool stick that he also calls the executive branch. President Trump, has a cool stick. President Trump said in a new interview that he spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the conflict between Israel and Iran and added that he would like Putin to serve as a mediator. Oh, sure, let's bring in that renowned peacemaker. Are you sure Conor McGregor is not available? When speaking about electric vehicles during a bill signing ceremony last week, President Trump said he would rather be electrocuted on a sinking boat than be eaten by a shark. Okay. A Galapagos tortoise at a zoo in Miami over the weekend celebrated its 135th birthday and first Father's Day, so yeah, he bought a Porsche. It was announced yesterday that Joey Chestnut will compete in Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating competition during a press conference in which his cardiologist resigned. Taco Bell has unveiled 2 new sauces, the Spicy Ranchero and Avocado Ranch, and for white customers, there's a new Extra Mild. And finally, Pigeon Fest took place over the weekend in Manhattan and included a pigeon pageant in which New Yorkers dressed as the bird and performed musical numbers and dramatic monologues. Very cute and everything, but I'm still pretty mad about what they did to my car. Because that's when you know they're not real pigeons. No matter how good the costume was, that's when you know there was a person. That was a monologue, everybody. Here we go. Got a wonderful show for you tonight. We got a Tony and Emmy-winning actress, you know, from The Good Fight, The Good Wife, and Mamma Mia. Currently, she's starring in season 2 of 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu, and The Gilded Age, which returns on Max next week. Our friend Christine Baranski is back on the show, everybody. He's a fantastic comedian, one of my favorites. His special Heckler's Welcome is on Max now. James Acaster is back on the show. She is the author of the Wishbone Kitchen Cookbook. Meredith Hayden is going to be cooking for us. Family trips this week. Josh and I talked to the Gilroy brothers. They are 3 brothers who are behind, really, for my money, one of the best shows of the year, Andor. It was a fantastic conversation. Do check that out. Moving on. You guys, summer just around the corner. I don't have to tell you that. Everyone's cleaning their grills, busting out their shorts. That includes my writers, you know. They write hundreds of jokes every day just to get the 10 or 12 we use in the monologue. And honestly, a lot of those jokes just are not good. Sometimes I think they throw in a few stinkers on purpose just to fill the page and meet the assignment. But just because the days are getting longer, that doesn't mean we can tolerate laziness, which means it's time for another surprise inspection. So here's how this works. I'm going to read some real jokes that were really submitted by my writers. My paid writers. Some are dumb, some are offensive, some are just insane. Most importantly, my writers don't know we're doing this, and because they don't watch the show, they'll never know. Let's get started. Authorities in Milwaukee recently rescued a nearly 200-pound sheep that was found wandering through the city. It was on the lam. And we're on. That was written by Matt. We are going to show their pictures. We want want you to see who did this to you. Later, when you're in the police station and you need to do a sketch of who ruined your night, we want you to have a message in a bottle that was thrown in the ocean in Hawaii was recently found on a beach in Florida 8 years later. It must have had a connection in Newark. You know, sometimes you do a monologue and you feel like you have this momentum where you're like, you know, it's like going downhill. This feels very flat. The restaurant chain Hoot. Oh, that was Brian, by the way. Can we show Brian who wrote that joke? Yeah. Guys, pick a lane here. You can't react with like dead silence and then see the man who did it and be like, all right, yeah. He's a writer on the show. He's not a charity winner. He is here to deliver jokes that work. The restaurant chain Hooters last week closed about 30 restaurants. Well, thanks for the memories. Scollins. Oh my gosh, people are still angry. By the way, we front load the ones we think you'll like the most. According to a new survey, 60% of women believe that it's harder to be a woman today than ever before. I'm sorry, it's harder than ever before? Is that what you're, Salem? I don't even know what that drawing's supposed to be. Bays wrote that one. That's our head writer. Bays actually came up with this idea to shame the writing staff, and then even he realized he's done some bad things. According to a new survey, 65% of readers said they like to read a romance novel with a cozy blanket. You know, to muffle the sound of the vibrator. Jenny! Give it up for our resident lesbian. A comedy club in London has announced that it does not want patrons who have received Botox in the audience because they don't have enough reaction to the performers. Because why else would a woman not laugh at your jokes? Brought to you by Allie. President Trump yesterday called himself a, quote, very artistic person. Shouldn't have got vaccinated, said RFK Jr. You know him as the guy who wore a tank top to work once, Scollins. The fast food chain Chipotle is set next week to launch its first new dip since 2020, which, if I remember right, was a spicy wet market bat queso. You know, I think there's a lot of problems with that joke. Not the least of which is it's a terribly wordy name for a dip. Spicy wet market bat queso. I wouldn't say it's the main problem. Just saying it's a problem. What a fun trip down memory lane. Here we go. The New York Post recently published a list of the Long Island towns that are most often mispronounced, like McRopenis. You got one back. You got one back. All right, I know what I'm wrong. Yeah, but you don't pronounce it micropenis, and then you get a laugh. Again, here's the thing. Sometimes you're like, you know what? This is the right crowd for a surprise inspection. You guys aren't that. I'm just going to say, you guys haven't been that, and I'm just real worried about where we're going now. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong about any of these. I actually think you have a lot more integrity and values than our normal audience, but, you know, it's just a bad night for you guys to be. The fast food chain KFC today launched a new Peaches and Cream Sweet Lightning drink, which features Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning Soda with vanilla cream. And even Bill Cosby is like, I don't think that's safe to drink. Now, here's the thing. The next joke is the same setup. have two of the same setup in surprise inspection. We put the worst one second. So just while I'm reading this, just know we thought it was worse than the Cosby one. Or also, we'll just give you a few minutes if anybody here would like to go. Now I will say I passed through dread to just pure white hot excitement. Now I know how this ends, but I've like got a real. I feel like Evel Knievel about to go over Snake River Canyon or whatever it was. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, but they're gonna remember me forever. The fast food chain KFC began offering a so-called dirty soda today, which features a new flavor of Mountain Dew mixed with vanilla cream. It's the first dirty soda to come out since Pepsi Anal. You're gonna see me in your sleep. Two NASA astronauts completed the 5th all-female spacewalk last week at the International Space Station, and NASA officials are still trying to figure out where they found a target. Yeah, one guy gets me. All right, well, it's the last one. And, you know, we had more. We cut 5 today, and that was a mercy. And finally, today was musician Kenny G's 69th birthday. So whatever you're thinking, it is going there. And finally, today was musician Kenny G's 69th birthday. So everybody mentally just come up with what you think the punchline is. Scollins wrote it. And finally, today was musician Kenny G's 69th birthday. So now his sax is going to blow him at the same time. This has been Surprise!